This is a perfect Saturday night in September for a college football game. 62 degrees, not a lot of humidity around, calm, not a lot of wind. Les Miles is ready with LSU, so let's go down to Aaron Andrews with the coach. Aaron.
Brent, thanks so much. Coach, you said this week your team really enjoys playing on the road this season. Why do you have so much confidence in hostile environments like this?
We've identified how we play on the road already this young season. When you have an environment like this, everybody's just jacked up. Our guys look forward to playing in big games now.
You've had success against Oregon and Mississippi State spread offense. What's the key tonight against West Virginia?
Well, it's a different challenge, a different defense, and a really explosive offense. So, but the recipe's the same for us. We play with the same intensity we play with Tigers. We'll be fine.
All right, Coach, thanks. All right, Brent.
Thank you, Aaron. In his first year, Dana Holgorsen, a man known for being able to move the football as an offensive coordinator at Texas Tech, Houston, Oklahoma State. Now he's in charge of the whole show, and this is the biggest arena that he has stepped into since becoming head coach in June. Underway, and Austin will take it from the 3 for the Mountaineers. A left alley and a fine return out to the 29-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. And this will give us an opportunity to take a look at the junior from Miramar High School down Miami way, Geno Smith.
Amazing to think, just 3 games into learning this new offense and over 1,000 yards passing already. And, you know, he's got a strong arm, quick feet. As I said earlier tonight, Brent, I think it's really about being able to read this defense and getting the football out of his hands as quickly as possible against the athletic ability of the LSU defense.
Freshman Bernard Roberts will start as his running back. Andrew Bowie is injured, and we're not sure that we're going to see him at all here tonight. The coaches were not confident. So young Roberts out of the Washington, D.C. area is just behind the quarterback on 1st down. There is that quick release, and up to midfield, one of his former teammates, Stedman Bailey, also from Miramar High School.
LSU in the very first play testing the mindset of West Virginia, brought a corner blitz from Mo Claiborne. They recognized it, a quick side adjust, good quick release by Geno Smith. Receiver protects the football, and it's a 1st down for the Mountaineers.
You see the 4 wide receivers lined up here for Smith. Keeping it in the air, incomplete. Now, one of the things Coach Miles told us is that in 3 games, 30 screen passes. That's a lot. That's obviously an average of 10 a game. But basically, that's their running play when they go to the screen game.
Absolutely, Brent. It's also very effective in trying to slow down a big athletic defensive line, and that's something that Dana believes in, and that in the running game. As much as you talk about these guys throwing the football, they do run the football and throw screens to try to keep the defensive line and linebackers honest.
And here is, Herbie, one of those running plays right into the teeth of that outstanding defensive front. Now you can see a little pushing and shoving, and there comes a penalty flag. A couple of them come flying. So we'll stay with it because this crew from the SEC wants to clamp down early, not let anything get out of control. Emotions are going to be very high for this game.
You know, it was going back and forth, but Joe Madsen, the center from West Virginia, losing his cool there. And I don't know, that's when he made a pretty heavy push there. That's when the flag came out, but we'll see if it ends up going to both teams. Could be offsetting.
Penn Wagers is the referee here tonight. Rick Lowe's the umpire.
Dead ball, personal foul. 74 on the offense. Penalty 15 yards. 3rd down.
Just what you saw, Herbie. He lost his cool, the center.
Yeah, and he's upset with his center, not the official. Well, he is upset with the official. But this was going back and forth, but right there. And that's when the officials were already trying to separate it, and right in front of 2 or 3 different officials. And to think they were sitting at, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and now they go way back, and now you just don't want to make a silly mistake on 3rd and long. Probably a screen here to one of their receivers.
Benny Logan was the defensive lineman who was tied up with Madsen on that play. 3rd and 22 for Smith and the Mountaineers. Under pressure, snaps it off underneath to Austin, and out of bounds at the 45-yard line is Tavon Austin, the junior from Baltimore's Dunbar High School.
And after a miscue like that, you get the ball back to about your 44, and now you put the ball in the hands of Corey Smith and the punter to try to give you a decent field position as a defense as they get ready to take the field here for the first time. But West Virginia has got to be able to maintain their cool with the emotions and playing this kind of game. LSU's used to this environment. West Virginia's got to show some poise.
Your guy Matthew is back deep now, and Corey Smith is the punter, and in trying to keep it away from him, sort of shanks it out of bounds.
That has been a problem for them all year. Dead last, 120th in net punting at 26 yards in net punt.
And this one's not going to help his average either. When you come back, LSU's ball for the first time after a 14-yard punt. Nothing flashy, Herbie, about LSU quarterback Jarrett Lee. 3 touchdowns, but only 1 interception. That's critical with him.
And he can't coming off a game where he was 21-27 against Mississippi State.
So they bring Ware. As you know, Spencer Ware and Michael Ford will alternate. And let's talk about number 10, Russell Shepard, who's making his season debut. He was under an NCAA suspension, and Coach Miles telling us they are going to move him all around the field. They don't want to put him in a wildcat here tonight, Herbie, but they want to give him a lot of different looks. They're not going to go easy with him.
They're not going to ease him back in. As you said, they'll move him around, and right now he is at the slot, right at the top of your screen, right up here.
2nd and 8, they look in his direction and go to the outside man. Battle for the ball, and it falls incomplete. LSU is lucky that Tandy did not intercept that ball. He was juggling it.
Boy, Tandy had a shot at it. Watch Darwin Cook actually after the ball is juggled. Right there, I thought Cook might be able to hold on to the football, but nonetheless the ball ends up dropping, brings up a big 3rd down here early in this game. We talked all week about how important it is when you're at home and you're an underdog against a team that's ranked like LSU is ranked up at number 2. You got to come out early and try to get yourself to believe. And right now this defense is trying to do that.
Need 8 yards on this 3rd down. Has time, wide open Randall. Ruben Randall moves the chains, and LSU moves into West Virginia territory.
And a big mistake, Brent, by Pat Miller, the corner. Watch him on the left. He doesn't even reroute the receiver, Ruben Randall. He doesn't get a hand on him. It makes it so easy. Watch Ruben Randall. He just kind of sits back, sits in the hole, makes it an easy throw for the quarterback, Jarrett Lee. That's a mistake there by Pat Miller, the corner there on the 3rd down.
And on that 3rd down, they pick up 16 for Jarrett Lee. Come back with the power eye. They're going to throw off the play action. Going to go deep far side. Double coverage, however, and it is incomplete, throwing it out of bounds. Shepard, the intended target.
And again, they're going to try to move around, and he gives you the vertical threat. And that's something that's different with this year's LSU offense. The more comfortable Jarrett Lee gets, the more you're seeing them willing to take some chances. This is a big graphic tonight. West Virginia's going to crowd the line. Last week against Mississippi State on 1st and 10. Look at that. Jarrett Lee 10 for 10 on 1st and 10 passing last week against Mississippi State. When defenses crowd the line to stop this physical running game, Lee has got to be able to make them pay for it in one-on-one coverage.
Come back with the running play with Spencer Ware. And that is Doug Rigg, one of the Mountaineer linebackers, making the stop. This is sort of an unorthodox defense, Herbie. You and I have talked about it. 3-3-5, but as you said, a lot of those safeties kind of move up into the gaps.
It is a 3-3-5, essentially really an 8-man front. They walk a lot of people up to the line of scrimmage. And if you're playing LSU, as much as Jarrett Lee has improved, you're determined to stop their running game and make them show you that Jarrett Lee and his receivers can execute in the passing game for 4 quarters without making mistakes.
Need a dozen yards. They've converted 1 3rd down.
Like delay.
Did he take it past the play clock? Yes.
Delay, yeah. Maybe the crowd affecting this game early. That was a big key.
Absolutely. I'll take it back on the other side of the 45-yard line.
One of the advantages that Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator from West Virginia, has in playing this different look with a 3-3-5 is disguising looks, trying to be creative with where's the pressure coming from. You know, last year they had 45 sacks. This year they only have one. Bruce Irvin, number 11, is the guy to watch when they try to apply pressure.
Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator, calls the defensive signal for the sideline, and Lee's got a man wide open and goes deep. Another huge throw on third, and that is Odell Beckham Jr. Hey, he is the talented speedster. He had it coming out against Oregon.
And exactly the same guy. Look at the cornerback, Pat Miller, squeezing to the inside, allowing Beckham again to just get off with a free release. There isn't a safety behind him to help to cover up. Pat Miller twice now on third down. They go right after him, right behind him in zone coverage, and Jarrett Lee finding it both times for first downs.
29 more yards. Lee with 2 completions, both huge on this drive. Both converted third and long. Coming back with Ware cuts in the hole to about the 11-yard line. As you look down at the Mountaineer defense and talking to Jeff Castile, he told us that he lost a lot of fellows who wound up at training camp in the NFL. I think it was a half dozen off this defense, and a lot of them right in the middle of that defensive line.
Yeah, and Jeff has told us that one of the things, when you lose 6 or 7 guys to NFL camps, it's going to take a while to get back to where they were a year ago, where they're very athletic, very physical. They're getting there, but they're going to have to slant and move and crowd the line to try to offset that power running game with Spencer Ware and that offensive line.
Lee up firing for the end zone, and he's got it for a touchdown. Ruben Randall, who converted one of the 2 third downs, he grabs the touchdown pass.
I'll tell you something, Jarrett Lee is settling in to really become a strength in this LSU offense. When we had him the opening week, it was all the talk about Jordan Jefferson. What were they going to do? And Jordan Jefferson's a great player in his own right, but Jarrett Lee, this is becoming his football team, and they are becoming a balanced offense. Huge opening drive for the Tigers.
Drew Alama tacks on the extra point. The Tigers strike first. That will quiet the crowd as Jarrett Lee fires to Ruben Randall. Nobody liked it any better than Les Miles. We welcome you back to Morgantown, West Virginia, where the number 2 team in the nation, the Tigers of LSU, have scored on their first drive. Now, nothing would give the Mountaineers a bigger lift, Herbie, than a great return right now with Austin back deep along with Stedman Bailey. But they're not even going to get a chance. This one's coming out in the 20. Alama just drills it out of the end zone. Terrific kickoff.
It seemed that every time LSU made a play in a passing game, they went to towards number 6, Pat Miller. Look at this. Doesn't even touch Ruben Randall. And also the safety that time, Darwin Cook, a sophomore out of Cleveland, Ohio, gets lost in coverage. By the time he reacts, Jarrett Lee had already thrown the football and right by Cook and Miller for the touchdown to Randall, who's becoming a dangerous weapon in the red zone for Lee and the Tigers this year. Converting 2 big third downs. Jarrett Lee and his Tigers offense. That's how you take a crowd out of a game early in a football game.
Remember, the Mountaineers were moving the ball until that personal foul on their center. Geno Smith back in the gun. Roberts, number 9, is motioning to the left. Bluff pass going to come downfield. And very well covered by Eric Reed. Eric Reed was all over the wide receiver that time.
Now the impact players for West Virginia, it starts with Geno Smith. We've talked about him all night. He's going to be the big key as far as his accuracy and arm strength. Tavon Austin is the one receiver that's got the athletic ability to be able to stay with the LSU defensive backs. Bailey also on the outside. And then defensively, Bruce Irvin's going to have to crank it up with the rest of the Mountaineer defense to put some pressure on Jarrett Lee.
Showing a little motion. Trying to get the defense to move. And they come back and nothing doing with Bernard Roberts. And that was Hatcher, the linebacker, who stoned him.
Brent, a late flag came in. in the secondary. That was, again, some of the emotions of this football game. Looked like Mo Claiborne and Stedman Bailey got locked up. This was after the whistle.
After the play's over, personal foul, 17 on the defense, penalty 15 yards, automatic, first down.
Yeah, Claiborne comes to the sideline, and coach is not happy.
Brent, I want you to watch this. This has been physical here early between these two. I mean, you can see Bailey's doing everything he needs to do. Now the whistle's already blown. Both ways. I mean, Bailey gave him a little shot, and then Mo Claiborne came back at it.
Claiborne got the worst of that situation.
No doubt.
They were both guilty.
Absolutely.
Frequently happens. Everybody knows in football, the last push. And they come back, and this time Sean Alston gets the first carry. And let's check in down below with Aaron Andrews.
Brent, just to add to what you and Herbie are saying about this game being so physical, during pregame warmups, I was standing with LSU secondary, kind of just standing there taunting West Virginia's wide receivers, talking a lot of trash with them, staring them down. So you could tell very early this was going to be very intense.
Interesting, even in the pregame.
Geno Smith told us that last year in Baton Rouge there was some trash talking going on. He said that Matthews is a pretty good trash talker. I said, you going to answer? Well, only if we get ahead.
Right.
Incomplete pass on that second down. Hatcher again, defensively, number 37, making a big out of Delray Beach, Florida.
When you defend this kind of offense, it's so much about timing and rhythm between Geno Smith and his receivers. And because it's timing and rhythm, a lot of it's short, quick throws, option routes, crossing, rubs. And the LSU defense right now is really locking down anything from 5 to 7 yards downfield, matching it up underneath, forcing Geno Smith to have to go downfield if he's going to be able to complete some passes.
With Bowie injured, Alston, number 20, checking back into the backfield for West Virginia. Third down for Smith and the Mountaineers.
It's him locked up in man-to-man.
And there's a flag.
And I think another
Delay of game, the offense, penalty 5 yards, third down.
Some intensity there from Dana Holgorsen trying to get the play in, wants Geno Smith to just kind of calm down, make the reads, execute this offense. But now they're back into another third and long situation against a very, very tough defense.
Geno under pressure, completes it. The battle for the first down, and taken away by Matthew. Matthew stripped him as the LSU defense gave up a completion, and then they stole it away. And there's a player who is up for Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC, and we have an injured Tiger. Brockers, one of the big fellas, down.
Let's hope that that Michael Brockers is going to be okay. Tyrann Mathieu, looks like they're looking at his left leg. Tyrann Mathieu, Brent, you and I were talking about it before this game. I really think he's the closest thing to Ed Reed that we have. He's a corner, but he plays nickelback. They execute. They hit the pass. It looks like they have a chance. Anytime you fight for extra yards against this defense, they're going to go after the football, and Matthew strips it out of there for the Tigers to get the football back.
And Starks was the receiver. Now look at, that's what you see on Sunday football.
Exactly.
I mean, he took it away. Do you remember, folks, where you're watching against Oregon on that punt when he sort of turned the game around? Same player.
Playmaker.
Forced a fumble.
No doubt.
But grabbed it midair and scored.
Right.
Ooh, Herbie. You're watching Saturday Night Football on ABC. He's a beauty. Well, Herbie, just to highlight what you're saying, look at what Matthew has done.
Think about Ali Highsmith, 04-07, starting for 3 or 4 years. Matthew's done this in 16 games in his brief career.
Shepard, as a running back, gets the first carry from scrimmage. Remember at the top of the broadcast, we said Coach Miles said they're going to move him all around. They do not have any Wildcat in the game plan just yet. But Miles said, nah, stay tuned.
Saying he's really becoming a better receiver now in his third year of playing the position. High school quarterback, All-American.
On second down, snaps it off to Randall. And that's his third catch of the night. And for an update, here's Robert Flores in the studio. Robert.
Hey, Brent, Taco Bell studio update. Number 2 LSU leading. Number 1 Oklahoma trailing. James Franklin 1-yard plunge from Missouri. And the Tigers looking for a second consecutive upset of the Sooners. Lead 7-0. South Carolina leading Vanderbilt 14-3 on ESPN2 at the half.
Now, Robert, that would be something because Oklahoma seldom loses in Norman under Bob Stoops. If fumble on the snap. West Virginia jumps in on Jarrett Lee. Jarrett Lee may have been able to maintain control. Take a look at his snap, Harvey.
Brent, I don't think he ever had the football. Third and short. Sometimes the center's trying to make a big block. It looked like the snap was actually pretty good. I just don't think Jarrett Lee got his hands on the football. He never was able to secure it. He's fortunate to be able to come back up with a football and bring the punter out here.
Look who's back. My Australian rules kicker, Brad Wing.
I'm glad you're trying to identify all these 38s. Look, you see 2 more in the background there. That was a great shot.
Yeah, but notice Brad's socks.
Oh, yeah, that's the difference. See, look,
there we are. Look at the socks.
Look at the boys in the background.
There we are. Left foot. He could also do it right-footed. Oh, and Matthew is down and catches it and buries West Virginia inside.
Look at our guy.
Is there something he can't do? Put him on offense for a while. Hey, Monday night, Rex Grossman of the surprising Redskins look to remain unbeaten. They take on Tony Romo, who says he's apparently going to try to play through the pain of that broken rib and a punctured lung that I read about. Wow. So that's the big one on Monday Night Football at 8:30 Eastern. Redskins and the Cowboys.
See if Tony Romo's able to go there. Into that play there. It's a quick little play there. But you know what, Brent? In college football, how many times do you see the guy, the gunner that's coming down, either lose the ball or it's a great play by Matthew and a thing that doesn't show up, but he pins West Virginia inside the 5.
Just amazing. Here they are coming out. Gino, hands off. That's their best running play of the night. Alston. So Alston is a junior from Hampton, Virginia. Looks like he's just a little bit bigger than some of the Smurfs they're breaking in.
They've got all these true freshmen with Roberts and Bowie, of course, not going tonight, Garrison. But Austin gives them experience and, as you said, a little bit more bulk at that tailback position.
They bring in Roberts. This is a big first down run, a little bit of daylight here. Play action, and now Gino's got time. Throw downfield and out of bounds. He was intending it for Ivan McCartney. And McCartney, another one of the Miramar youngsters and former teammate of Smith. And as he comes back, folks, if you could just see underneath the helmet, yes, he resembles Chad Ochocinco, and yes, they are related. So here is the young man. He's a cousin. And, you know, Chad was from Florida way and went on out to Oregon State before he started his career in the National Football League. 3rd and 4 coming up for West Virginia.
Here comes Baker again on the pressure. He's dropping back.
Fire high, first down, nice pass to Austin. That was beautifully executed and well thrown.
Yeah, they've been showing a lot of blitzes on 3rd down. This time they showed blitz and then dropped back, and Geno Smith showed patience that time, sitting in there. The line does a good job of giving him enough time, and there's Austin. Austin's the playmaker in this offense. Nice job of getting it right behind Claiborne in the hole in that zone defense.
A first down for the Mountaineers. And they move from inside their own 5 out to the 22-yard line from the pistol. I think they've discovered a little something with that running game. Mingo, one of the backup defensive ends, making the stop there, number 49. He's one of the freaks down there. The LSU told us that he can play safety.
Absolutely.
Well, as defensive end, Irving?
You can see what these guys have been able to do tonight. And when it comes to defending the run, typically teams can't run the football. But West Virginia, with the spread from sideline to sideline, they've got to be able to sprinkle in just enough run tonight, again, to make this defense be aware of it.
2nd and 9, goes sideline. The receiver was down, but no contact, no flag that I see over there on that far side. That was Bailey who slipped down. And look at Simon.
See, that's where, you know, we have a seminar every year with ESPN, and we bring in an official, and we talk about what is trash talking and what is not. And they always use this as an example of the potential of that being kind of in a gray area. As when that continues to go on play after play after play, the officials have to give them a warning, and eventually you got to make a call. Otherwise, it's going to go on and escalate to becoming more like personal fouls, as we saw earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. 3rd and 9 for Smith. Alston's in to help pass protect, and he fires another first down. Comes right back to that side, and Bailey for the first down.
And when you play one-on-one on the outside, you've got to be able to beat man-to-man coverage. And this time, Smith is just going to throw the ball to the back shoulder. You see this all the time in the NFL, more and more in college. It's a timing route. The receiver's just going to come back to the ball. The ball was in the air, actually, before Bailey started to come back. And that's the timing and the rhythm between Geno Smith and Stedman Bailey, both from the same high school. They know each other very well.
So now, Alston and Roberts, and they're going to throw that screen pass that we talked about, basically a running play, trying to get some space for Roberts, but Mingo again. And when we use the word freak, ladies and gentlemen, it's a compliment to what he can do. I mean, you saw him move on this play, and yet he's a defensive end. He's a rush man.
6'5", 240, and a legitimate 4'5". Enough said. That qualifies in the freakish category.
2nd down and 9.
Man-to-man.
Firing in the air, intercepted on the ricochet. Picked off by LSU's Brandon Taylor. Taylor wearing the number 18 this year. And on the interception, LSU back in business again with a short field.
Man-to-man coverage. Actually, Austin coming from the left beats Matthew. He's able to come across. It's a good throw, but look at Reed right there. He actually came pretty high there to Tavon Austin. And I don't know if Austin got short arms and started to feel Reed right there coming actually pretty high, close to the head.
Underneath one of those gloves is a fractured finger. Tavon Austin. They haven't said much about it. There's a screw inserted in that finger, and they've been trying to keep it from fellas. Normally, I think makes that catch.
Could be. I know he saw Eric Reed coming in pretty hard, too.
Now Ford is in as the running back. Short drop. Ooh, Jarrett Lee, Herbie's impressive. He snapped that one off again to Randall.
Yeah, he's kind of getting into a rhythm here of his own. And like I said, if you think that LSU is just about running the ball, and then on 3rd down and 3, just throw the football and try to get just enough for a first down. This offense is evolving. Coach Studd, the offensive coordinator, calling plays this year for the Tigers, is the first one to tell you, listen, we're going to be physical. We're going to run downhill right at you. But if you overcommit to the line of scrimmage, we've got confidence in Jarrett Lee and our group of receivers that we're going to go behind you.
On 2nd and 3, Ford stays in the game. Jarrett Lee with plenty of time, but didn't hook up that time with his wide receiver, Beckham, the freshman.
Long throw there, right? That was a check there at the line of scrimmage by Jarrett Lee. And many times Coach Studd will give him a run, pass, check at the line of scrimmage. He wanted to go to the pass, and I think Beckham that time, after hearing the route was a quick out, he should have brought his alignment closer towards the ball to give the quarterback a better chance of making that throw.
On that one scoring drive, Jarrett Lee hit 2 big 3rd downs. He's 2 of 3 for the night. Here they come again. They're going to run for it this time. So after passing for 2, they come back with Ware behind the left side of the offensive line. Miller comes up to make the stop for West Virginia.
And this is still, Brent, their identity, as you and I know. I mean, when they need the tough yards, they're still going to rely on their offensive line. They've got a great fullback in James Sampley. D'Angelo Peterson has become a heck of a blocker up front.
Now, Stampley led that play. And I'll tell you, Ware makes the most of it as we check in with Robert Flores in the studio. Robert, what do you got for us?
All right, Brent. Kellen Moore hooking up with Tyler Shoemaker for the 2nd time today against Tulsa. And Kellen Moore has now thrown at least 2 touchdown passes in a game for 16 consecutive weeks. Oklahoma has kicked a field goal, still trailing 7-3.
And here we had the swing pass over to Spencer Ware. So the running back slips into that right flat, and as a result, the chains move again for LSU.
Start to think about this offense with Russell Shepard coming back and Spencer Ware, who's a physical back. Ford comes in, who's got great speed and acceleration. Ruben Randall's really developing. I'll tell you, this is an offense that I really feel like it's growing right before our eyes.
Toss play to Ford. He blasts his way across the 25-yard line. Good first down power run for the Tigers.
Saw Jarrett Lee look over the line of scrimmage, and every time a play is called, Jarrett Lee will look over, and a lot of times he'll get confirmation of whether or not it's going to be a run or a pass. You can see the safeties are back. They're confident when they have numbers in that box area that they're going to hand the ball off, and if you're going to give them numbers, they feel like they're going to get 4 or 5 yards and put themselves in very good position here now on 2nd and 5.
Shepard slips over to the left side. Randall to the right. And Ford runs to the left. Daylight. End zone. Touchdown LSU. Michael Ford. Sophomore from Leesville, Louisiana. And that is his 5th rushing touchdown of the season. 22 yards.
Great job on the left side of that line, and receivers downfield picking up some blocks. The true freshman Odell Beckham downfield, good block, and there's the compliment to the more powerful Spencer Ware. I just said Michael Ford comes in, such a great compliment because of his speed and quickness.
Dodge snap, ball is down. It'll stay at 13. And more importantly, Alamo might have been shaken up. The most important part of this story is the possibility of an injury to their kicker. Now West Virginia, hugely loyal fan base, and there is the kicker, appeared to injure a knee, and now as a result, and here's Austin bringing it back to the 27-yard line.
It's a great job of blocking on the left side, but to your right, the true freshman Beckham was actually able to line up against Pat Miller, who's been giving him that cushion, but he just has a nice stalk block, and with the speed of Ford, he gets into the end zone. But as we sit here and look at in the first quarter, nine runs and 9 passes, tremendous balance. See what happened right there. Ooh, had a hurt knee already throughout the camp, and been kind of lingering for the first few weeks of the season, and then coming down hard on it there.
It looked like the defensive player wasn't sure who had the ball, so he tackled the kicker.
Out.
He took both the holder and the kicker got abused.
Can't get forward,
there.
so I'm going to take this kicker out, right?
On first down, Roberts.
They continue to go back just to. West Virginia is not going to get back into this game and compete, and they know that. Dana Holgorsen knows that the running game is a part of just keeping a defense honest. This is a defense, this is an offense rather, that wants to spread you out, try to find matchups, one-on-one matchups in space. The problem is the athletic ability that they're trying to get to one-on-one matchups against this secondary. Very, very tough.
Freshman Dustin Garrison, Pearland, Texas, checks in as one of the running backs for West Virginia. It looked like there was movement in the middle. We'll see if Benny Logan was drawn off or he broke into that neutral zone.
Logan might have been playing a guessing game there with the snap count.
Offside, 93 on the defense, only 5 yards.
But we've seen these kind of offenses where receivers try to get to a spot and a quarterback is instructed and coached to throw the ball to a spot. In 2.5 seconds, for example, this receiver needs to be at this spot. And if the defensive backs disrupt that rhythm and make the quarterback hold on to the ball, that's where you have a problem with this offense, and eventually the rush gets to him.
Alston checks back into the West Virginia lineup. And there's a penalty flag on the snap.
False start, 57 on the offense, only 5 yards, 2nd down.
Jeff Braun, the left guard, guilty. They continue, Dana continues to experiment with his running backs. Ryan Clark, the fullback, had checked in, not wanting to put it up, as you pointed out, against this defense on every play, trying to find something that'll work for him.
It's a tight coverage again up at the top.
Bobbles. Gino goes back to pick it up, but his teammate bailed him out on the play. Saved the moment. Alston, number 20, pounces on the loose football.
Look at Gino's eyes. He's not even ready for this snap. And right now, West Virginia is really imploding, showing their youth, showing their inexperience, showing that maybe this scene and this team is maybe a little bit too much for them. Through first quarter, still 3 quarters of football, but right now, they don't look like a Dana Holgorsen offense.
So LSU leads 13-0 in this presentation of Saturday Night Football, presented by Southwest Airlines, returns after this message and a word from our ABC station. Well, here it is, LSU 13, West Virginia nothing. But here's a bulletin. UCLA 27, Oregon State 19. Mr. Herbstreit, what do you got to say for yourself?
Well, you know, they were my preseason pick.
Oh, I know.
In the Pac-12 South, and I abandoned them. I left them.
And there's a completion by Geno Smith to start the second quarter, snapping it off to his former Miramar teammate. That's McCartney.
Came up, they gave it to him. They gave him a favorable spot, but you know what's great about college football, you think about what happens in the preseason, and you start to watch games and things change. Just a big third down, good effort. Did he hold on to the football? Did he get his arm underneath? See if they can snap the ball before they take another look at that. Ooh, they just
stopped it in time. I would say that that they're going to take another look at it. Well, you know, I've got to give you really high marks because a year ago you picked Auburn, okay,
Previous
and out
play
of
is under
nowhere
further review.
they go and win a national championship.
Right. So once in a
So,
while,
man,
you
I'm
hit one.
sitting there on my couch in Montana, and I'm thinking, wow, UCLA. Got to find out more about those
That's
rascals.
the team this year. And 3 weeks in, I said I'm never going to pick UCLA again.
I know.
And now they're on fire.
And now they're on
they
fire.
look great. So,
now they're going to make that run.
yeah, it's crazy. It's emotional. Oklahoma State, by the way, an amazing effort what they were able to do against Texas A&M. So some great games all day. This is a tremendous opportunity here for West Virginia on third down. And you know, it looked like he holds on to it afterwards. It looked like he may have gotten that arm underneath, and I don't know if there's going to be enough evidence to overturn it. Let's take a play. It looked like his hand and arm got underneath there to be able to hold on to that for a first down.
It's a Big East replay crew and an SEC crew on the field. That's how they broke down our officiating here tonight. So they will take a couple of looks at it and then send the decision down to the field, and we will play on.
It's interesting that you look at this offense, and McCartney, Bailey, Smith, all from the same high school. And, you know, Dana Holgorsen telling us this week, it's a new offense, but they've really adapted to it well because of that relationship that they've had all the way back to high school.
I'm making you a big favorite on Aflac tonight.
Oh,
Come on in.
Oh, boy.
Come on in, Doug.
Here we go.
What former West Virginia linebacker is the all-time leading tackler for the Buffalo Bills?
What?
I'm making you a heavy favorite.
Did you feel bad for me? Because the first 3 weeks you're going back to '06?
I thought, you know, it's just time I give my man an easy one.
This is
After
like
needling you about
this is a
UCLA, it's
2-foot
only fair that I give you a
He's being
2-foot.
recognized here this week. He was on the field.
That's why we brought this up. Don't give it away.
Okay.
There's some people out there wondering.
All right.
They don't live in Buffalo.
By the way, he looks
you know
like
what
he
I'm
could
saying?
still
They might
play.
live in San Diego. All right. Here is your answer. Go ahead, Herbie. Tell us who it is.
Daryl Talley, an all-timer here, and went on to play in the NFL for the Buffalo Bills, all those great teams with Bruce Smith and Thurman Thomas.
And they were both here, by the way, because he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, the College Hall of Fame. The Talley's being honored. Now, the ruling on the field stands. This is a completed pass. You could tell by the roar in the background, so it'll be a first down. And there is Talley receiving his plaque.
Still in great shape.
He was a great player here, too. Played for Don Nehlen. He really turned things around here in West Virginia. Did just a wonderful job. Has a grandson who's a receiver on this team, and we haven't seen yet in this game tonight, who's the son of the equipment manager, Dan Nehlen. And maybe we'll see him a little bit later. But now, Gino snaps it off to Austin, and there's some more trash talking between Austin and Matthew.
And that's what they need. They're going hurry up here, but Tavon Austin against Matthew is a great matchup, but that time press coverage, and West Virginia hit it.
Got the first down. Austin again.
This is the guy that they have to get the football to. Now they're really starting to hurry up. They're trying to create some tempo here for this offense. And Geno Smith trying to get LSU's defense on its heels and out of attack mode.
Geno back again. Far side, incomplete.
I love that Dana Holgorsen is getting his offense to just get up to the line of scrimmage and let's get into attack mode. This hurry up does a lot for not just wearing down the LSU defense, and they're rotating defensive linemen as we speak on and off the field, but more importantly, it gets your own offense into a rhythm. It makes them where they don't have to think as much the way they did in that first quarter.
Roberts is the running back. Play fake to him. Gino rolls right, throws back, and had a receiver cutting across the field. That was Bailey, and unable to hook up with him. There was a little bit of daylight down there, it appeared, for Bailey. Gino could have had a big gain on that pass, and now he faces a stiff third down here.
One of the things that this defense, because of their speed and because of the athletic ability, will test of a young quarterback is his willingness to get the ball out of his hands and trust his initial read. If you don't trust your initial read and get the ball out of your hands, you're going to be too late against the speed of this defense. Comes the pressure.
Trying to get there, so he snaps it off, complete. Short of the first down marker. Austin again. The crowd wants him to go. Down 13 points.
They're going to hurry up here again, even on fourth down.
At the 36, need to get to the 32. Snap it off, got the first down. Beautiful throw under pressure to Austin.
That's showing confidence in an offense, even though you're down 13-0. And Tavon Austin, again, is the go-to player. Reminds me a lot of a Percy Harvin as far as his ability to make plays in space. I'm not comparing him to Harvin. I'm just saying that he's that kind of playmaker, has that kind of suddenness and quickness, and he's the one athlete that can match up favorably against the LSU secondary.
Clark and Garrison now into that backfield. Play action in trouble. Steps away from it. And fires complete. Into the red zone is McCartney, and that's a beautiful play by McCartney and the quarterback, as the quarterback was in trouble.
Absolutely. And
he was able to pull away, and we have another injured Tiger down on the field.
Brett, you're dead on. What was impressive here about the pressure is the way Geno Smith stepped up away from the pressure, stepped up into the pocket, and then even after being touched, he's able to reset his feet and then rotate off to the right and find his man downfield. McCartney steps up away from Kiki Mingo, who's got great quickness, and then eventually finds his man downfield. Right. You know, that isn't interesting. Tempo. West Virginia has some success. I think he's frustrated because, and Downs is down, he's hurt, but I think he's frustrated to see now, just when they get a little bit of rhythm going, next thing you know, there's an injury, and now it slows them down a little bit.
So West Virginia into the red zone, where they have struggled a little bit. They have not been overly impressive in the red zone so far this season. So let's see what happens. And Garrison back onto the field behind Geno. 18 possessions and only 10 touchdowns. They would like to pick that up. Snaps it far side, incomplete. Over through the receiver, Ron Brooks. And that was Ryan Nealon. There is the grandson of Don Nealon, the legendary coach here. His father, Dan. Now, this young man, Nealon, he's a pre-med student. And coach said He's got everything going. He's got athletic ability, a 40-inch vertical, and he's got one of the best-looking girlfriends on the team.
Sums it up right there. Total package.
Second down and 10. Fires complete. Touchdown, West Virginia. Stedman Bailey. Load that muscle.
Big drive there, obviously, by West Virginia. The way that first quarter went, it couldn't have gone any worse for them to bounce back here in the opening drive of the second quarter. 12 plays, 73 yards, to put points up on the board, gets the crowd back into the game, gets this team getting a little bit more of an attitude, thinking they can compete with the Tigers.
Tyler Bittencourt adds the extra point after the touchdown by Bailey. Two Miramar High School teammates. We'll be right back. .30 left in the first half. Dana Holgerson talking to the young man who scored the touchdown. It's 13-7. Corey Smith to kick it away. Claiborne and Brooks are back deep. This is Claiborne from the 9. Claiborne to the 30-yard line.
Brett, the last two plays, LSU went with a bare front, meaning they've got both guards in the center covered, and they brought the linebacker on the blitz. Watch 32, the fullback, Ryan Clark, pick up the blitz. The line does a good job to give Geno Smith enough time. They build him a good pocket, and on the outside, Bailey matches up against one of the top corners in the country, and Mo Claiborne slips and gets by him and puts points up on the board for the Mountaineers.
So here, Lee and the Tigers. Lee is 6 of 9, 71 yards and a touchdown. Where is his running back? Short drop throw on first down. Pick up 4 or 5 yards as they snap it to Kadron Boone, his first completion, as we take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. And our two quarterbacks here tonight, Jarrett Lee and Geno Smith, they've both thrown touchdown passes. Geno with the interception. Tigers are at the line. Second down. Into coverage. And coming up with it is James Wright. So two new names break into the box score here on the last two passes. Third down and short.
LSU in the pass game definitely seeing that they want to attack Pat Miller to the defensive left when they throw the football. But now on third and short, this is usually where the Tigers believe in that running game, and big Spencer Ware led by James Stampley, the big fullback.
Ware cuts a little bit left of Stampley that time and bursts for the first down.
And they don't care if you know it's coming. It's third and short. This is what they really believe in, and they feel that West Virginia is equipped to crowd the line of scrimmage, and they're used to playing in the Big East, where a lot of times they're facing spread attacks and they play sideways. LSU a lot of times tonight wants to test their manhood and come right at them, right downhill, running from that I formation.
And as they're testing their manhood, they're keeping the football away from that spread of West Virginia. Now back to throw. Lee, incomplete. Shepard, the intended target that time. Keith Tandy, number 8, one of the DBs there.
When they throw on first and 10, it's imperative they get pressure, but it's also very, very important that Tandy and Miller and Garvin and Smith and Darwin Cook and the guys that are in the back end are able to recognize routes. LSU isn't real complicated with their pass game, and when they throw, you've got to be able to recognize it and get into the passing windows and be able to disrupt their rhythm.
On the toss to Ware. Left side, but not much doing. Here comes a big third down for the Tigers.
Remember the opening drive, LSU faced a couple third downs that they converted. A 3rd and 8, they picked up 16. A 3rd and 16, and they picked up 30. And both times they went against Pat Miller, number 6. We'll see what they do here this time on 3rd and long.
Lee goes over the top to Randall, incomplete. Safety came there in time on the intended receiver along with Pat Miller.
Again, there's the matchup that you want. The ball actually hangs in the air. He gets right around Miller without any problem. The ball's thrown back to the inside, which is what allows the safety to come over Banks and dislodge the football. That time, Lee needed to throw that closer to the boundary to give Randall, who was wide open, a chance to make that play.
Brad Wing trots back out. This is a big punt for LSU. Austin going to let it go, and it's going to be down inside the 5-yard line. That's the second time tonight that the special team of LSU has downed it. This time it's Ron Brooks. We'll be right back. The Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine's main attraction is that tour, and it takes visitors 1,500 feet beneath the hillsides of New River Park, not too far from Morgantown. Back through the years, the coal miners, and one of them had an interesting comment for our cameraman. He said, "I'm glad to see you on a day like this. Normally when we see cameramen around a mine, it's not good news, but this was good news." And
absolutely,
all those hard-working fellows that go down into that mine working on our behalf, we salute them here tonight. Alston checks in now as a running back. Geno Smith, bad field position. One punt down at the 3, this one at the 4. And from their own end zone, Dana Holgerson will throw it, and he does. Complete to Bailey. Bailey struggles for the first down. Second effort. A little bit of desire here, Herbie, on the part of the Mountaineers.
It's nice to see Bailey get this, but Brent, real quick, watch a little hesitation by Tavon Austin, who's a go-to guy. A little bit of a breakdown here by LSU, gambling and thinking that everything's going to be thrown underneath, something that I'm sure Dana Holgerson will try to come back to. A little hesitation, double move, and right by the safety, collapsing down on those short throws.
Got the ball out to the 15-yard line with the first down. Geno rolls. Throws deep out of bounds.
This LSU defense determined to try to take away those underneath throws. And I thought West Virginia, you and I were talking here, that last drive, the hurry up, I think, created tempo. And it was the first time we saw all night LSU lose a bit of their aggression. Hands on their hips, looked a little fatigued. And that's what West Virginia going right back to here this drive.
That's 2nd and 10. They snap it off. Complete. And Brad Starks makes the play.
13 straight pass plays. We talked about how they have to sprinkle in the run game just to keep those defensive linemen honest. They've only run tonight for 12 yards, so it's not like they're going to have a big night running the football, but you do have to try to get it going just a little bit, just to make them appreciate it and understand that you have it.
Didn't get it. And there's a penalty flag thrown into the middle of that pile. Alston was the ball carrier, short of the first down.
Obviously declined this. The center, Joe Madsen, just trying to fight for position against Anthony Johnson, the freshman, just tackled him. Pretty easy call for the officials.
Holding number 74 on the offense. Penalty declined. 4th down.
So now they'll punt it away. Corey Smith, the junior from Inwood, West Virginia, will trot out. He's a young man, by the way, who transferred from Alabama. And during his high school days here in West Virginia, this young man once kicked a 59-yard field goal. And look who's back deep, Matthew. So here is the West Virginia punter ready to go. Booms it. Matthew driven back to the 27-yard line. Starts upfield. Just short of the 40-yard line. We're going to take a break. 8:26 remaining in the first half here at West Virginia. It's LSU 13, the Mountaineers 7. Couple of stories that I want to call your attention to. Bills quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a very good story emerging and on the short list of Harvard graduates to play in the NFL. And Ndamukong Suh, in his own words, tells us about the art of the pass rush. And they come back with Michael Ford, who has re-entered the game for the running play. And West Virginia signaled that they had stolen the football, but I believe he was ruled down.
Yeah, absolutely down. Ford comes in to give Ware, and they continue to rotate back and forth. Again, great compliment to one another with the speed and quickness of Ford with the power of Ware. One thing about Coach Studd as a play caller for LSU, they will stick to what they believe in, which is continuing to run the football, and when they find opportunities to throw, they'll look for it. You know, a guy we have not heard from tonight is D'Angelo Peterson, the big tight end, who's quite a receiver in his own right. He's off to the left here of Jarrett Lee.
Ware, running back from Cincinnati, is short of that first down marker. So this will be third down and short, but they've shown us that power eye and their ability to pick up the first down. Let's see if they bring Stampley in as the lead blocker or they bring J.C. Copeland in. J.C. Copeland will get the call this time. He's from LaGrange, Georgia, 6'1", 280.
Big time size advantage for the LSU offensive line. You know it's coming. Can you stop it?
Number 44 will lead you to it.
Oh!
No, they throw off it. The Mad Hatter is at it again. Touchdown LSU. Beckham scores. That's 52 yards. Mr. Miles, I don't believe it.
Unbelievable call. Coach Miles and Coach Studd, the play caller. There he is off to that's John Chavis and Coach Studd up there as well. One thing about it, third and short, I formation. They bring in the big fullback. You're thinking, okay, pound away and get to 3 yards for a first down. Great time. They waited and they waited. They get everybody up to the line of scrimmage, and to show the courage to call the play, an outstanding job by the LSU coaching staff and great execution by the players.
Alabama on a third and short, and Jarrett Lee, Herbie, he couldn't have done it any better.
That was just perfect time to call that play, and Jarrett Lee probably hardly containing himself in the huddle, knowing this is it, we got a chance at a big play, and they hit it.
Now West Virginia with 6:57 to go. Austin coming out from the goal line, tripped up at the 15-yard line.
Third and short. Everybody's expecting them to try to, looks like
Lawston is down.
Austin's down, the safety.
Craig Lawston, sophomore from Houston, shaken up on the special teams coverage. Urban Meyer, I believe, drove down here in the DirecTV bus.
Yes, he did.
Urban Meyer knows what it's like to be up against the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
With a 53-yard field goal being set up, and there came a flip over the head on one hop,
Yeah,
and Les Miles picks up the first down and then beats him in the closing seconds with a touchdown pass.
I would challenge you after the game tonight, you and I go down in the field, and 100 times in a row, throw a ball over your shoulder and try to bounce it up to me.
Can't do it.
100 times.
Can't do it.
No.
So, you know what's interesting about this, Harvey, is you take a look first at this touchdown. I have a question about the play.
Well, the third down and short. The greatest thing about this is the technique. Look how the quarterback, Jarrett Lee, this is what Peyton Manning does so well in the NFL, and Tom Brady extends the ball. The defense is completely consumed with stopping the run out of the I formation. Everybody's out of position, and then Jarrett Lee with his technique is able to put the football right on the money. Safeties, linebackers, everybody pinching in a kind of a goal line, short yardage defense. And Beckham gets behind the coverage, adjusts to the ball, makes just a great play on it. And Les Miles, he always seems to dial it up at the right time.
So here's my question. Incomplete pass. Would he have come back with a fourth down run, or would he have punted it away?
Well, you've got a team on the road down 13-7. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. And I think that's why you take that chance there.
Take a look now at Lawston, at how he injured him. himself on this coverage. He was closing in on Austin. It looks like his head took a big hit as he went down. I think watch his helmet, folks.
Yeah.
Right into the left side. And he's down and his teammates around. So
see him.
we had a young man knocked out last week down in Tallahassee, and Loston takes another serious blow here in this game. All right, for an update now, let's go to Robert Flores in the studio. Robert.
All right, certainly good news there, and good news for South Carolina as they take on Vanderbilt. They haven't started a season 4-0 since 2001 when Lou Holtz was coaching them, but they're on their way to a 4th win. They're leading Vanderbilt 21-3. Marcus Lattimore has a couple of touchdowns. Missouri still leading Oklahoma 14-10 in Norman.
Thank you, Robert, very much. And everybody's happy to see Craig Loston go off to that sideline, and I'm sure they're going to have to check him for a possible concussion with the way that head bounced a little bit when the headgear hit the side of the return man. So here we go with West Virginia now. They've got 6:53. They're down 27. Geno Smith fires one off complete to McCartney. McCartney's a 6'3" sophomore wide receiver.
Brent, the only adjustment that I think Dana Holgorsen has made that's allowed them to have some success is just the tempo of getting to the line of scrimmage. And I think the execution and the plan is still the same. It's just a matter of trying to attack, being more of an attack mode with the tempo. Wow, what a catch.
Throws for the first down and comes right back to McCartney.
We kid about these guys playing backyard football as kids, and they played in high school together. You know, the quarterback and his receivers. I mean, that's pretty good chemistry there between McCartney and Geno Smith. You're down, my friend, but I'm still throwing the ball to you.
Comes right back with another completion, and this one is to Tyler Urban, his first catch of the night. Dana trying to keep things moving. He says that he picks up at the tempo once he gets into a rhythm, and if he feels that they're moving well and picking up the signals, then he will go faster.
It's press coverage from LSU.
Incomplete. Eric Reed coming up over the top. McCartney the intended target that time.
The jam that time by Simon, the corner who's up against McCartney. Again, all about disrupting that timing between Geno and his receivers. And you mentioned Eric Reed. Quarterback has got to do a good job of keeping his eyes off to the left and to the middle of the defense, and then at the last second throwing the ball off to the right. They're jamming him again here on 3rd down.
Smith is 18 of 29, and now it's 18 of 30 as Austin put it on the ground. That is a big 3rd down that they didn't convert, because now the punting team will have to come on. A lot of time left for LSU.
You mentioned the screw that's in his hand, and you wonder, you've seen a couple drops tonight so far for Tavon Austin, which is uncharacteristic. And maybe a combination of the hand and also the respect that he has for that LSU defense.
Corey Smith back to punt again, and Matthew awaits it. Tyrann Mathieu, big play guy. We'll let this one bounce down at the 34-yard line. Herbie, you're going to have to fill me in on Ricky Lake, Chaz Bono. Everybody's talking about the newscast of Dancing with the Stars, who will take home the Mirabal Trophy. Dancing with the Stars live Monday, 8/7 Central.
Me? Are you kidding? We have the expert of the whole country downstairs.
I forgot.
Oh, my word.
Aaron, what's up with Dancing with the Stars? Give us a quick
breakdown.
I heard Maxim Smirkowski, Hope Solo did well. Nancy Grace in the bottom 2 bombshell, guys.
Bottom 2.
Help her out this week.
Are you going to fly out there and help her?
I don't know.
Michael Ford gets the carry here. We've got 5:23 left in the half. So a lot of time here. And that last drive, of course, that's 3rd and 1. Beautiful play action touchdown pass by Jarrett Lee. And Lee tonight has thrown 2 touchdown passes and no interceptions.
When you play LSU, you got to understand it's not about a spurt and then let off and then a spurt. You've got to play 4 quarters. You cannot let off of the accelerator, especially playing at home, because they do not stop. They just keep attacking. You got to stay up with them.
Dropped incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and long. Landry, the intended target. Another of the freshmen, Jarvis Landry from Lutcher, Louisiana.
I hate to continue to just go back to this over and over again, but again, 3rd down, it's about trying to go after Pat Miller, an emotional corner who's given up some big plays on 3rd down, and this time it's got a couple receivers. The freshman Beckham also matched up with him at the top of your screen.
Lee, incomplete. There's a penalty flag. Randall apparently was interfered with. The line judge was right on top of it.
That's one way to stop him from getting behind you. Just tackle him. Not.
There's no foul on the play. 4 count.
Not a catchable ball.
We got physical at the line of scrimmage, Brent.
Take a look.
A lot of contact early, and I think that's what got Randall off balance and eventually down. But that was up tight at the line of scrimmage. The ball wasn't in the air, and I think that's what you love to see with officials. Initially, there's a flag. They come together, and they wave it off.
Still could have been holding rather than interference. That's an option that you have in a situation like that. When you see the DB and it needs to be called. We look at Brad Wing. Austin lets it bounce, and look at Brad Wing's punts. Folks, that's the 3rd one that's been downed inside the 5-yard line. That's amazing. 1 on the 3, 2 on the 4. You know, sometimes you see it once in a game, Herbie.
It's a nice
weapon.
weapon.
Okay, a couple of. I guess it is. That is. Yeah. So we've just sent Nick Saban back to the video room. Okay, so he's going back. I got to check out what to do with this punter. You know, he's already looking ahead. Now they're going to tell you, "Oh, I got a lot of games. I'm not thinking about it." Don't believe it.
That's
you know what I found over in the coach's room here at West Virginia? I found a reel of Pittsburgh tape. Strange, but it had already been loaded.
Those big games always have a special place in coaches' hearts.
Absolutely. Well, they should.
Here they are penned again.
So let's see what Geno Smith and the Mountaineers come up with. Come back with a running play on 1st down. That's freshman Bernard Roberts.
Plenty of time for this offense if they can dig themselves out of this hole that they're in. Avoid disaster, and always worry about that when you're inside your 10-yard line against this kind of defense and taking a risk and turning the football over.
4 minutes left in the half. Plenty of time, but deflected at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get up high enough.
Now they're surely showing their depth up front. They have rotated a lot of bodies in there. Ego Ferguson that time is just a freshman. And that's what they've been instructed to do this week. If you can't get to Geno Smith because he's getting the ball out so quickly, John Chavis has told this defensive line, read his eyes, read his rhythm, get up in the air and try to knock that football down this week.
Smith on 3rd down has an awful lot of time. Almost intercepted. At the 20-yard line, Taylor came flying in.
3rd down, he's typically looking to get the ball to Tavon Austin, and that time Tyrann Mathieu completely took him away, and that was his initial read off to the left. You see him right there. He wants to throw the football, but he's covered. He shows some pretty good patience there, but by the time he lets go of the ball, he's pretty fortunate that time that Taylor didn't step in front of that and walk into the end zone.
So Mathieu will attempt to give him field position. But Corey Smith been able to boom the punt out, but LSU could wind up with a short field here. That's a booming punt. What a great punt. Bobbled by Matthew. Picks it up at the 25. Starts back up the field. 40. Gets back to the 44-yard line as we check in with Robert Flores in the studio for an update.
Hey, Brent, number 1 Oklahoma has their first lead of the evening. They go 10 plays, 80 yards against Missouri. Landry Jones to Ryan Broyles, and after trailing early, second quarter, number 1 Sooners leading by 3.
So a big game and a tough battle. We were there in Columbia last year when Missouri upset the Sooners. Now it's first down and 10, and let's see what Jarrett Lee and the Tigers come up with. 3.5 minutes. Lead it 27. And where? And coming up on the Northwestern Mutual halftime report, Scott Van Pelt, Jesse Palmer, they'll have all the day's big highlights. Anything really surprise you across the country today, Herbert?
You know, the earlier games, I think everything kind of held form. The 3:30 games, there were some exciting football games today. Clemson was probably the team that was most impressive with their big win today against Florida State.
Come back with Ware. Short of the first down, so a third down is coming up here for Jarrett Lee.
20-7. First half hasn't gone your way. LSU is in your territory right now. This is a big third down. This is a big third down for the confidence of this football team of trying to hit the showers and think they can come back and compete and win this game in the second half. They cannot afford to allow Jarrett Lee to pick up a first down and then either get in field goal range or worse than that, obviously, eventually maybe a touchdown.
Ruben Randall, number 2, goes off to the left. Copeland is the fullback in front of Ware. They're running behind Copeland and nothing doing on this third down. Keith Tandy came up from the defensive backfield to make the play. And now the Mountaineers will get it back with 2 minutes remaining.
That's a good job by the West Virginia defense. Third down. LSU tries to get physical. They outnumber him up front. They run well to the football, eventually pushing him too far to the outside, and they chase him down. And the corner that time really sealed the deal there, Keith Tandy.
Now Austin has to be very careful now with Wing back there to punt again. He's put 3 inside the 5, and you would think that they told him, go ahead and fair catch one of these and see if you can get us just a little bit of daylight. But Wing has been kicking beautifully. He hangs this one up, and there's the fair catch signal, and he does give him a little daylight with that at the 10-yard line. Not letting it hop. 90 yards to go. Minute and a half. Trailing 27, and now it will be Geno Smith. One of the things that Coach Miles told us when we asked him about Oregon against West Virginia is that West Virginia will go downfield much more than Oregon did against us, and he said, we like this quarterback better at West Virginia. We think he's a better passer.
Well, yeah, he's a better passer, and the Oregon attack is very, very different from what they're trying to defend tonight with the spread formation and the passing of Geno Smith. Darren Thomas more of a dual threat guy.
Alston checks in as the running back. Pistol formation for the Mountaineers. Snaps it off, and there's Austin in the middle getting daylight. Austin tries to catch a seam. First down and 10, 1:27.
West Virginia 3 timeouts, clock stops every time they pick up that first down. That was a good job of Austin cutting back underneath the pursuit of the defense and picking up more yards for that first.
Austin, McCartney, and Bailey have been the big receivers for West Virginia tonight. They continue to shuffle running backs in and out.
Let's snap the football. Let's go.
Gets it back. Complete again. Another first down. Stops the clock is Bailey.
Right, you see Mo Claiborne say that Bailey is pushing off at the end of his route. That's what allowed him to get open. What good receiver doesn't do that occasionally? Whatever it takes to get separation, especially against Claiborne and Matthew and company in this LSU secondary.
Smith is back underneath to Austin. Austin trying to get outside, and he is bumped out of bounds by Simon.
Just a good job to get out of bounds. Again, they still have the 3 timeouts. Would love a chance to at least get into field goal range. This offense knows how to execute, and they have about a minute to go and a few timeouts. And still plenty of time, Brent. I'm sorry, to get into field goal range here.
Smith has thrown Herbie for 202 yards here. He's 21 of 35. He does have a touchdown pass. He does have an interception. Out to the flare, and the running back will step out of bounds to stop the clock. That's Garrison, the freshman from Texas, his first catch of the game, and now they're down to 49 seconds.
With it, one thing you're seeing right now, LSU do a good job of taking away all the deep throws. They're back there right now with two deep safeties. You see one here, another one back here, doing a great job of taking away, making them throw short.
Sideline penalty flag comes. McCartney out of bounds on the far side, but there is a penalty flag thrown back in the backfield.
Right there where they typically get a hold. He had plenty of time there to throw, and a lot of it had to do with West Virginia grabbing some jerseys up front.
Overall, as you look at Braun, the left guard, he's had a couple of penalties here tonight, but Barkley, Madsen,
number 55 on the offense. Penalty 10 yards. Third down.
Rader, and Ager. Offensive line actually has held up pretty well in the teeth of this rush. When you think about it, for West Virginia, these fellows have done a pretty good job.
They have the one area that you'd love to see them be able to do a little bit better is just sustaining a few blocks when they decide to run the football. The pass protection's been good. He's not been sacked. You got to open up just a few seams for these running backs.
Danger zone here. You can throw a costly pick here late in the first half.
Matthew
deflected, picked off. Matthews down to about the 1 yard line. That was the zone where you had to really be careful about throwing the football. It was third and a bunch, and here comes the playmaker, Tyrann Mathieu from New Orleans.
Matthew, it comes on the blitz, recognizes the play, smacks it, puts it up into the air, and if you're an LSU fan, you've been seeing this now since he was a freshman last year. You're used to this. I got news for you. College football needs to pay attention to number 7 at LSU. He's one of the most dynamic playmakers in all of college football. I keep using the comparison, Ed Reed, because he has that sixth sense to make plays. I don't know how he does it, but he's always there to make plays.
The lot trophy would be one consideration, the impact play. No one makes more of an impact for LSU than this young man right here.
I think he knows it too. I think he's aware of it.
Dana Holgorsen said that he thought he was the best defensive player he had looked at all year on tape. He said because he's all over the field.
He's on special
teams. You don't know
teams.
where he's coming.
And he's not just on the field. He makes plays no matter where he is.
That was a spectacular play.
Yeah.
Deflected grab.
Top 10 right there.
And now, let's see what they do. Spencer Ware will be in behind the fullback. Stampley is the lead back. Nothing doing. And it will be second down and goal.
LSU trying to get their timeout, make sure that everybody's on the same page here. It's a big drive for them. Just have to be able to execute here, try to punch it in. Big swing in this game. And again, number 7 right in the middle of it. The Oregon game that you and I had, the opener in Dallas, pivotal play on the punt return for the Ducks. He was right there to cause the fumble, pick it up, put it into the end zone. And again, big game. You need a play. You turn to number 7, and he produces.
First time he's been the boss of the entire operation. They've been a coordinator until June, when a whole bunch of circumstances unfolded here in West Virginia. Bill Stewart out, Holgorsen in charge, and rolling and throwing and diving for a touchdown in the end zone is Chase Clement, from Thibodaux, Louisiana, the junior. And there they are, throwing again when you expect them to run.
Good call, aggressive play call by Coach Studd. Ball's thrown down. Clement gets his hands under. They may take another peek at that just to make sure it did not touch the turf. Let's see if maybe this angle's will show you a little bit better. I don't know. I don't think there's anything that we've seen there that could overturn this.
That is the young man's first catch of the year. And no one is hoping more that it holds up than he is right now. Chase Clement. For his career, he'd caught 2 previous passes for LSU. He's never scored a touchdown. So he still hasn't officially scored one till we hear from instant replay. And this could be a killer score if you're a West Virginia fan right now.
I hate to be even the bearer of worse news, but LSU did defer.
They did.
It's not good for West Virginia.
Question will be instant replay, of course, in the hands. Are they underneath the ball? What they see there.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Yeah.
Touchdown. His first catch, his first touchdown.
Brent, how about the formation? Look at Tyler Edwards, tight end. Are they selling? We're going to run the football.
Absolutely.
Here we come. We're going to run the football. Look out. Whoops. Second time they've tried to fool the defense. And second time it's been a result has been a touchdown.
Very creative offense here by the Tigers, who have come up from Baton Rouge, and they're going to take a nice comfortable lead into the locker room here at the intermission. In case you just joined us and you're wondering about the 27, they had a bad snap and missed an extra point situation on their second touchdown, so it's 27-7.
You can see the 3 turnovers that West Virginia has, and Tyrann Mathieu, huge play here, recognizing, seeing the quarterback, reading his eyes, timing his leap perfectly, knocks the ball down, and then it's like he's playing out in the backyard. He knocks the ball down, he sees it up in the air, makes the catch, and eventually leads to this play. Second down, little play action. Clement in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Jarrett Lee, by the way, his 3rd touchdown pass of the night.
It's been really efficient.
I really like the look and the command that Jarrett Lee now has in this offense.
Austin and Bailey are back deep.
Now, didn't you just feel it from here watching him? Jarrett Lee, I think there was a facial expression late in the Mississippi State game where he threw a touchdown pass. You could see a smile on his face, and it was almost like he's got it. He's feeling good right now and settling in.
Mixed emotions for Jordan Jefferson as he watches. He's happy that LSU is doing well, but he so much wishes that he were part of this. And insiders on the LSU team have told me they think he's going to be back this year. They think Jordan Jefferson will be reinstated. We'll see how that'll unfold down in Baton Rouge. Les Miles has a real good football team, and you can make an argument now that this team should be #1 in the country because of who they've gone to war against.
Is it even
Oregon,
a debate? Is it a debate?
Mississippi State, and now tonight West Virginia on the road. 1 on a neutral site, 2 when they're on the road. They have got a tremendous argument. They're the only team in the country to have played 3 top 25 teams. When you take a look at the coaches and the writers' polls, you'll see that they differ on one thing, and that one thing is LSU. The writers this week, as you see what they've accomplished in their first 3 games, Oregon 40-27. A little bit of a scrimmage against Northwestern State. Then 19-6. And now here tonight. So the writers moved them up to #2 on the left. The coaches left them just under Alabama on the right. So that's a Donnybrook all year.
Coaches, wake up. Are you kidding me? I mean, you watch a few of these games, and how do you have LSU at 3? If they go on to win tonight, that's by far the best resume in college football. It's not even close. LSU, for now, should be ranked number 1. Nobody's done what they've done. And it doesn't even matter what Oklahoma does tonight. That was a great win at Florida State. But nobody's gone on the road and played 3 teams ranked as highly as LSU's had to face.
So handing off to the youngster, and that is Garrison exploding. Brings it out to the 44-yard line. The final 16 seconds on the clock. LSU back in that prevent defense. And so West Virginia just content to go on inside the locker room. So Holgorsen faces his first uphill task as a head coach. Here you are at home, huge crowd on hand, and it's a disappointment here in the first half. You're down 27-7 against one of the best teams in the country.
These West Virginia fans and these players figured, hey, this team went down to Baton Rouge last year and battled them 20-14 and had some chances late. Why not have a chance to compete with them this year in Morgantown and have a chance to beat them? And the first half, still a whole second half to play, but the first half, these are 2 different teams. LSU is a better football team than they were a year ago, more complete than they were a year ago. And West Virginia, with a new head coach and a new system, going through some growing pains here early in the year.
Noel Devine was the running back for West Virginia last year down in Baton Rouge in that game that Herbie was speaking about. He was injured in that game and really has not been the same. He turned loose in the NFL. So the final play. And Smith is going to throw for it. And guess who knocked it away, folks? Guess who was there? Number 7.
Why not?
Hasn't he done everything else? Now he should lead the team on into the locker room. And let's go down below with Aaron Anders.
Well, Dana, every time you guys seem to get into a rhythm, there's either a penalty or a turnover. What's behind it?
Well, you turn the ball over 3 times in one half against a really good team. It's probably not going to do very well.
Geno Smith has passed for over 200 yards, yet you're down by 20 points. What's your message to your guys?
Yeah, it's what we tell them all the time. You got to play smart. You get penalties, you get turnovers, you're gonna be in a hole. So we got to be able to reverse that here in the second half.
All right, thank you, Brent.
All right, and right now let's send it to the studio. Scott Van Pelt and Jesse Palmer for the Northwestern Mutual halftime report. Take it away, Scott.